CNN's Jason Carroll joins us now from the convention. So, Jason, what was Cruz's message today?
Well, part of that message was not to go down the path, as he called it, of yelling and screaming. He was telling those who came out here to the state convention that he is the candidate that can unite the people and move forward. Things started off, as you said, with former Governor Pete Wilson coming to the stage, making the introduction, giving his endorsement for Ted Cruz. Then much of what we heard in his speech here was much of what you would hear on a typical Cruz stump speech, quite frankly. But then he went on to say that California voters would be the one who would eventually choose the nominee, that California at this point is at a crossroads. He also talked about why he decided to choose his running mate, Carly Fiorina, so early. As you know, Donald Trump has made light of that situation, saying here's a man who does not have the path to the nomination, and yet he's already going out choosing a running mate. Well, he spoke about why he did just that.
I think the contrast could not be clearer between Carly and me on the one side, a positive, optimistic, forward-looking, conservative campaign based on real policy solutions to the challenges facing this country, versus on the other side, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are flip sides of the same coin. Both of them support the same policy issues. Both Hillary and Donald support massive tax increases.
Now, as you know, many of these candidates know that this is basically an election about being anti-establishment. Cruz calling both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton Washington insiders. But as you know, you can't have it both ways. You can't talk about the endorsements of people like a former governor of California, the governor of Indiana, the governor of Wisconsin, all of them arguably insiders, and then talk about people being outside of Washington. Cannot have it both ways. What Cruz has to do at the end of the day is reach those Trump supporters. He was able to, continue to get support from those who support him here. After the end of his speech, Pamela, many of those who we spoke to said, look, we thought he did what he needed to do here, but in terms of reaching those Trump supporters, he's got a ways to go. Pamela?
All right, we'll leave it there. Jason Carroll, thank you very much for that.